Sawadee-ka, and welcome to Thailand News Update. In today's news, a 300 baht entry fee from foreign tourists starting April 1st, Royal Thai Air Force to purchase 4 fighter jets, and extended bail for one of the key leaders of the anti-government protests. All that and more coming up. At precisely the same time, the Thai government are trying to lure even a few travelers to come back to the kingdom. The government will start collecting a 300 baht entry fee from foreign tourists starting on April 1st. The fee is included in the Tourism and Sports Ministry's Amazing Thailand New Chapter Plan, and the money will be for the maintenance and development of tourist attractions, as well as accident and life insurance for tourists if in the unfortunate event a tourist is seriously injured or dies whilst on their trip. A new charge will be included in airfares. For land travel, there might be an application for visitors to pay before entering. According to the government spokesperson, if foreign travelers report an accident, up to 500,000 baht in medical costs can be claimed. If visitors happen to die in Thailand, up to 1 million baht in compensation to the family will be paid. The Tourism and Sports Minister said the entry fee was expected to start at the beginning of January, but was postponed for consultation with the International Air Transport Association. But the president of the Thai Hotels Association says the tourism fee has to be put off until at least 2023, as the sector has to be rebuilt from the ground. After the Royal Thai Air Force announced last week that they were pushing ahead with the purchase of 8 fighter jets, yesterday the cabinet approved the plan to fund the purchase of just 4 of the planes. They estimated a budget of about 13.8 billion baht, which will be spread across the next 4 fiscal years. The Air Force says the purchase is necessary to replace the F-16 Falcon jets that have been in operation for nearly 40 years, where they say continued use runs of the risk of accidents as well as continued high maintenance costs. The decision has not yet been made on exactly what type of jets to purchase, but it will be determined by a procurement committee later, according to the RTAF spokesperson. But the Air Force has been leaning towards Lockheed Martin, the U.S. company that produces the F-35 stealth fighter and other of its variants, the F-35A, B, and C, that have different takeoff and landing characteristics. And they argue that now is the time to purchase, as prices have dropped since the F-35 first came out, and planes can be picked up for about $82 million a pop. The Bangkok South Criminal Court has extended bail for Panusaya Sitti Jirawattanakul, aka Rung, one of the key leaders of the Rasadon protest group that led the way in anti-government protests since the middle of 2020. Her bail conditions have been extended to May 25th, but have eased restrictions on her movements. The Thai lawyers for human rights say that the court's decision spared Rung from being sent back to jail on remand, as her bail was scheduled to expire today. The TLHR said that the bail conditions imposed by the court remain unchanged, except that the court has allowed Rung to leave home between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., instead of being subjected to a 24-hour curfew. Rung famously read out a 10-point manifesto at a July 2020 protest, which, among other things, called for a new Thai constitution that would codify the powers of the Thai monarchy, the first such public utterings of this highly sensitive topic in Thailand. A team of park rangers patrolling in Thong Pa Phum National Park in Kanchanaburi near the Thai-Burmese border followed a smoke trail to uncover a camp of poachers. 5 suspects fled into the forest, and the rangers were left with the horrific sight of 2 Bengal tiger pelts strung up to dry while a campfire grill sizzled with the flesh of the tigers cooking on it. The Protected Area Regional Office 3 released details today after the patrol that took place from January 8 to 10th that was intended to curb forestry violations but track down the illegal poachers after receiving a tip-off that a wildlife hunt has been planned along that border. New studies show that between Sinovac and AstraZeneca combined with Pfizer, the most effective vaccine cocktail combination is 2 doses of Sinovac followed by a full dose of Pfizer as a booster shot. The studies have been collected by Sinovac Clinical Research Center in Bangkok and directly contradicts a study at Yale University last week that said the Sinovac-Pfizer combination is less effective. The study measured the geometric mean titer. A titer is a lab test that measures the number of antibodies in blood, a nonlinear measurement that gives a clear picture of antibody levels and vaccine effectiveness. They measured the GMT levels for antibodies against both the Delta variant and the Omicron variant. The study showed that a Pfizer booster after 2 AstraZeneca vaccine is a fair amount less effective than starting with 2 Sinovac injections. But the Pfizer booster still gives the 2 AstraZeneca doses a big boost over using a 3rd AstraZeneca vaccine as a booster. Bottom line, the Sinovac Clinical Research Center is recommending a Pfizer booster shot for anyone who received either the Sinovac or AstraZeneca vaccine for their first 2 doses in order to have the highest level of immunity and protection at this time. The famous African mine detection rat named Magawa, who has saved hundreds of lives by finding over 100 landmines in Cambodia, died over the weekend. According to his organization, Apopo, which trains fellow rats like Magawa to detect landmines that still litter the country some 40 years after the Khmer Rouge brutally dragged the country back to what was called Year Zero. The Apopo, in a statement released yesterday, said, quote, "A hero is laid to rest. He will leave a lasting legacy in the lives that he saved as a landmine detection rat in Cambodia," end quote. Magawa, who was originally born in Tanzania, arrived in Siem Reap, Cambodia after 3 years, was part of a hero rat program that currently has 96 rats finding landmines. His responsibilities included sniffing the air for TNT and marking the ground with his paws when a landmine was spotted. He used to receive his payments in bananas, and Magawa found more than 100 landmines and other explosives during his career. Rest in peace, Magawa. The Parliament of Vietnam has approved a stimulus package worth around $15.3 billion for people severely affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, especially businesses, as well as expanding infrastructure expenditure amidst harsh lockdowns. Officials say they are attempting to repair an economy that has been harmed by strict antivirus restrictions that have resulted in industrial closures and crippled global supply lines. The Vietnamese central bank will also intervene in the money exchange market by selling U.S. dollar reserves to stabilize foreign exchange prices. A COVID-19 vaccine developed in Taiwan has been recognized by the Thai government, allowing travelers who have been fully vaccinated with the new Medigen vaccine to enter Thailand under the current sandbox schemes. And now for a quick update on the COVID-19 situation here in Thailand. The CCSA has reported 8,167 new cases of COVID-19 with 14 new deaths. According to the latest reports, there are currently 70,591 in care and 3,845 released from care within the past 24 hours. And that wraps up the morning news for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up with all the latest news around Thailand and the region. Also, check out Thailand News Today with Jet Gunther and also Good Morning Thailand with Tim and Jay in Phuket today. I'm Natty from the Thaiger. Sawadee ka.